Hello everyone, it's Anna, also known as Book Anna, and today it's time for another book freakout tag, middle of the year book freakout tag. I cannot believe that it's been a year since I started this booktube channel, although I have not posted last year as much as I did this year, but still, I cannot believe that I have this channel for a year. I'm so happy for all of you guys that want to be a part of it and that subscribe. We are almost at 50 subscribers, which maybe doesn't sound a lot when you look at the other channels that have over 1,000. I'm just thinking about having 50 people in a room watching you. That's quite a lot of people, and most of you guys subscribed in the last few months, so thank you so much for wanting to be a part of this and for wanting to look at my videos and listen to me talking about books. I just love it so much that we are kind of building this community. I cannot wait to see where we are going to be in another year. This freakout tag is done in the middle of the year, and there are, I think, 15 questions that I have to answer. I already written down my answers because I wouldn't be able to just think it on the spot, definitely. So let's just go through all of the questions and my answers and talk about books that I read so far this year and that I want to read. The first question is best book of 2025. I talked about this book so much, since the day that I read it, but it would definitely be They're Going to Love You by Meg Howry. I am in love with this book. It's so beautiful. It's about dancing. It is in New York, which if the book is in New York, it's definitely a plus for me. And the characters are so complex, the dynamics, family dynamics are so complex, the story is so beautiful. Also, the other book that I read more recently is Gretchen Volden, which is another literary fiction book. This is by Rebecca K. Riley. This is a more comedy book. I loved it as well. It is about two siblings, and we're just following them struggling through their mid-20s and their family, and it's very gay, and I talked about both of these books so much, so in my last few videos I'm not going to be talking about them that much now. These are the only two books that I gave 5.0 stars this year. I don't give 5 stars lightly. There is quite a lot of books that I gave 4.75 or 4.5, but 5.0 is only reserved for the books that I read and I just want to hold them and reread them again and again and again, and that doesn't happen that often, so these are very special to me, definitely very, very special. Best sequel I've read in 2025 would probably be Harrow the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. So I read Gideon the Ninth 2 years ago. I didn't remember almost anything, and I went into this sequel kind of blindly, and I didn't really understand anything. In the end, when I read the book, I went to Reddit and I tried to find explanation of parts of the book that I didn't really understand because I didn't really remember the characters or things that were happening. For you to not know what the book is actually about and still love it so much, still love the experience so much, that shows to me that that book was truly amazing, and I really hope that the fourth book will come out soon so I can read the third one, because I'm not reading the third one and then waiting for the fourth one to come out. Electo the Ninth needs to come out as soon as possible. The world and the characters are so sarcastic, and oh my god, it's amazing the way it's written, the way everything about the book is so great. It's so funny and sarcastic and makes fun of the characters themselves, and everything is just, it's a great experience to read those books. Gideon the Ninth and Harrow the Ninth as well, both were amazing, such great books. I would definitely recommend it if you want to read sci-fi, to read Gideon the Ninth, because it is amazing. New release you haven't read yet, but you want to. I have quite a few books on this. I didn't put that many, and I'm not going to be talking about each one of them because I did talk about most of them, I even think all of them, in my new releases of every month, because I do these videos of new releases that are coming out the next month every single month since the beginning of the year. So you can see there all of the new releases I have on my radar. But here I just put a few that I think I will like very much. So first we have She's a Lamb, then Starving Saints, Friends of the Museum, City Changes Its Face, The Boy, The Artist, and The Pretender. I'm going to put them all here so you can see them. I don't own any of these books yet. I am very excited about all of them. There are so many books that I want to read that are coming out and that sound so amazing. I feel like this year I really opened up a completely different door to literary and to books that I didn't know existed before, because I started experimenting a lot with my reading taste, and I found out that I liked certain kind of books that I never thought that I would like before. Before I only read fantasy, almost everything that I read was fantasy books. So to read in a completely different genre now is a bit scary, because there's so many things that I have not explored yet. I feel like these are the books that have potential to grip me the most, for me to enjoy them the most. So those are some of them. Of course, there's going to be so many more. Of course, there are so many more great books that are on my radar. As I said, like every month I pick 20 to 30 books. I feel like these are the ones that I constantly thinking about and trying to get to them somehow. Most anticipated releases for the second half of 2025. I have 3 books. I still didn't really explore what books will come out the second half, but the first one is, of course, We Love You Bunny by Mana Wad, which will be a second part of Bunny. I am very excited about this one. I do not know what to expect at all, because Bunny is a very standalone book. When it finishes, you don't feel like there needs to be any kind of second part. It just, I feel like when it finishes, you're completely okay with it finishing where it did. I think that the second part of this book is going to be following our character when she's older and she's writing her own book. I think I read that it was that, but I didn't really want to go into it because I want to go into this book blindly, as I did for Bunny as well. The other book that I feel like everybody are anticipating is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. Everybody wants to read this book finally. I've seen some great reviews from people who got an arc of this book. I would love to be one of the people who gets arcs of books. If somebody is watching who gives out arcs of books, I would be very happy to read arcs of books and to review them. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one as well, because I did read so far 2 of R.F. Kuang's books and I did love both of them. I still have not read her first trilogy, Poppy War. It's still on my books. I will be talking about it. I don't know what to expect again, because I don't like to explore. If I know that I love the author already, I don't really like to explore the new book that they're releasing. I just want to go into it blindly, because I feel like I know that I like their writing style, so I don't really care what they're writing about that much. But that's the second one. And the third one is called The Macabre. I don't know who this is by, but I'm going to put the picture of it here so you will know. I don't really remember, to be honest, what this book is about, but I just remember when I saw it, I was very excited. I put it instantly on my TBR list for 2025, and I really want to read it now. I'm not going to be looking at what it is about until I have to do a video for that month. That's the third one. I believe all of them are coming out somewhere between August and October. I think so. All of them are coming out pretty soon. Biggest disappointments of this year. If you watch my channel, you probably know what book I am going to be putting in this. That would be, of course, Dracula by Bram Stoker. One of the most disappointing books I've ever read, to be honest. I was just shocked by how much I disliked this book in the end. I don't know how that happened, but I just hated it. Honestly, I hated it. I did not like it at all. I thought it was not well written, I thought. The atmosphere was okay. I didn't like the characters, I didn't like the misogyny, I didn't like that the whole climax of the book where they are confronting Dracula in the end is written in one short, very, very short paragraph. And that's it. The whole climax of the book is in one short paragraph. The rest of the book is just boring dialogues between these white men that think that they're going to save everybody and they don't do shit. They don't do anything right. Women do everything they're not getting thanks for, and if you like the book, that's also fine. I'm really glad that you like Dracula. I think that's amazing. I personally hate it. However, I do like Carmilla. But Dracula was definitely such a big disappointment. Biggest surprise of this year, so I put here a few books. Of course, there's a lot of books that I gave very good ratings, but those were the books that I kind of knew that were going to get great ratings. But these books I didn't know that I would love so much. So the first one is Dr. No by Percival Everett. When I read Dr. No, I didn't connect this was the person who wrote James that everybody loves and raves about. I didn't know what to expect of Dr. No. I also didn't know that this was the author of American Fiction, which is a book that a movie was made about, and the movie almost got an Oscar. I don't know if it got any Oscar, but I know the lead actor was nominated for an Oscar. I didn't connect that that is all the same author. Dr. No really surprised me. I loved it very much. I thought it was hilarious. It was one of the funniest books that I ever read. I laughed out loud a couple of times. It is very short. It is very sweet. And the other book that I kind of knew that I would love, but I didn't know that I would love it as much as I did, is Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. The main reason why I didn't know would I love this book as much as I hope to love it is because I kind of put this book, before I read it, in the same category as Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I didn't really enjoy Brave New World that much. I really enjoyed Slaughterhouse-Five. I think it was amazing. It was funny where it's supposed to be. It was hard-hitting where it's supposed to be. It gave you room to feel everything you need to feel. It didn't jump really fast through all the emotions. It gave you time to process everything. It was very short as well. And the story was very entertaining. Those are two that I was most surprised by, definitely the books that surprised me the most, that I didn't think I would love as much as I did. New favorite author. So this one is a bit hard for me to answer, just because for me to put an author in my favorite authors of all time category, I do want to read more than one book by them. So although I did love They're Going to Love You by Meg Harry, I don't know if I'm interested in other books that she's written. I've seen that she's written one sci-fi book. I don't know if I'm interested in it, but I just love this book so much. So for that reason, I don't think I can put Meg Harry in my favorite author of all time category. The same kind of goes with Rebecca K. Riley. She wrote only Gretchen Walden. That was her debut novel. She hasn't written anything after that. I hope that she will write, and I am very open to reading another book that she writes. Percival Everett. I will try to read James by the end of the year, and if I like James as much as I did Dr. No, I hope that I would be able to put him in my favorite authors of all time. Another author that I'm very interested in reading more books by them is Ursula K. Le Guin. She's an older fantasy author, and I read very good short story by her, The Ones Who Walk Away from Amelas. It's probably my favorite short story that I've ever read. I feel like I would love her other works, her longer books as well. Those are the authors that I would hope that one day would go on my favorite authors of all time. But for now, I cannot put them there. An author that I can put there, because I did read the last book that I have not read before this year, is Eliza Clark, because now I read all three of her books. One exciting thing that happened to me recently, actually last week, was that Eliza Clark came to one of the festivals in Zagreb, and I actually went to it and I listened to a conversation with her about her works and how she writes and why she picks certain themes. She signed my copy of She's Always Hungry, so I have it signed now. I'm very excited because she is definitely one of my favorite authors. I think her and Mona Watt kind of sharing the first spot. For now, they are still both my favorite authors, but maybe somebody else will come soon and go to my favorite authors category. Newest fictional crush. I don't really crush on characters, but when I was thinking about it, the person that I kind of liked in that way the most, that I kind of felt, oh, that's kind of, I like the idea of dating somebody like that, just based on their personality. Probably be Mrs. Death from Mrs. Death, Mrs. Death. I just really loved character of Mrs. Death from that book. I thought that she was kind of sarcastic. She talked very deeply and very philosophically, and she was just talking about all of these great things. And in my head, although she was described as this old beggar woman, in my head, the way she talked, I pictured this magnificent older woman just talking about the most profound things, and you just want to listen to her. I don't know if that's weird, but I would say that's the closest to a crush that I had. I wouldn't say it is a crush, but I would say it's the closest to crush. Newest favorite character. Again, I don't even know how to choose from these characters because they were all so different, so I don't really know how to choose. But one of the characters that I keep thinking about and that I also really enjoyed and I thought was a great character was a character from Gretchen Walden. His name is Zabi. He's not the main character. I really, really liked him, and I liked the way his relationship with one of the main characters went and how he acted. I just really liked him. I thought he was a great character. That's it. I don't have that much to say. Book that made me cry. I don't really cry. I don't think I cried in any of these books. Definitely I didn't cry, like really, really cry, but I did tear up at the end of They're Going to Love You. For a couple of reasons. It was kind of comforting. It made me realize some things about life. And because the book that I loved so much and that I enjoyed so much whilst reading it ended. So I was sad because of that. But I did tear up at the end of that book. I really liked our main character a lot. She is one of those main characters that she's not flawless. She's just so optimistic. She's not one of those people that are so constantly smiling and everything, but she just goes through her life and she embraces everything bad and everything good that happens to her, and she is okay. Even though a lot of bad things happen to her, she's okay. And it's so comforting to read about something like that, about a character that is kind of well put together and is very, very strong and is really powering through everything. It's very comforting and I really liked it a lot, and that's why I teared up at the end. I felt a lot of things. Book that made me happy, well, it would probably be my other favorite book, that is Gretchen Walden. I talked about how wholesome this book is already, so I don't think I have to talk about it anymore, but it just made me so happy. It had those family vibes that you don't see too often. I was just in the end of the book, I remember at one point I closed the book and I start giggling, which I really don't do. I really don't giggle when I read books, but I just felt so happy and so full of life. Yeah, I would say that book made me the happiest this year. That's why it's one of my favorite books, because it made me feel this very strong emotion that I don't usually feel while I'm reading the books. Well, I do feel happy while I'm reading the books, but like happy on next level, like happy in my life. Not only reading the book, but I'm now happy in everything. Favorite book to movie adaptation I've seen so far? I've seen only one book to movie adaptation because in the last few months I'm trying to watch as many creation movies as I possibly can, and I'm watching a lot of older movies. The only book to movie adaptation that I've seen so far this year is Little Women by Greta Gerwig, and I really liked it. I really liked the movie. I never read Little Women. That's the only one that I watched, so that's my favorite, I guess. Favorite post I've written this year, so I've not written posts, but I do make videos. So my favorite type of video that I started making this year is, if you don't have time, read these short books and then some kind of genre of short books. I love making those. I feel like it's not something that a lot of people talk about. It really makes me happy, and I use those recommendations that I give to you guys in my everyday life, and I recommend those books to my friends and my family because I know that they don't have as much time as I have currently to read as many books as I do. So I do recommend them books from those videos, and for now, recommendations that I give were pretty good, I would say, because people did enjoy books that I recommended them, and my book club likes the books that I recommend to them. This idea actually kind of was inspired by my book club, because the way that I hold my book club is that I don't really go into longer books. Every month I try to find as many short books as possible and try to find some kind of collective theme of those books and then give them to choose from 4 books. That's what those videos were inspired by, but I really love making them, and I love making recommendations videos in general, definitely. I just love recommending books. Most beautiful book you bought this year. I couldn't only put one book on this list. I have a few of them. A book that I read and then I bought this year, and I think the cover is gorgeous, is Mother Thing. This cover is amazing. I love it so much. I think it's a great cover. Definitely a great cover. I love the colors of this cover so much. A book that I'm currently reading and that I really love color of this book. I didn't want to buy other edition just because I love this color so much. This color scheme is Changing All Stars. As you can see, I really love bright colors on covers. When covers are kind of mostly one color and then they have a little bit of other color. Then I have 3 books that did came out this year and I still have not read them, and they are my most anticipated reads of this year, definitely, but I didn't want to put them in the question about those. I knew that I would be talking about them now. I have Beta Vulgaris. It's pink, it's beautiful, and she has beads on her eyes, I mean. Then I have Sour Cherry, which is another one color cover and then just a little bit of something here, and the behind has cherries, and I love this one as well. And then very simple one that I have and that I really loved is Addition, which is completely black but then just colors on the title. So I really love this one as well. There's so many more that I bought that I loved, but these are the ones that kind of came to my head first. So finally, the last question that I have is, what books do you really need to read by the end of this year? Oh my god, let me tell you, there are so many books that I really need to read by the end of this year, but I've written some of them down. So I really want to read the 2nd and 3rd Lord of the Rings books. I read the first one at the beginning of this year and I have yet to continue it, and I'm very excited because I love the first one. So I feel like I'm going to be loving the 2nd one and the 3rd one as well. Then I have 3rd book in Assassin's Apprentice trilogy. I think it's called Farseer trilogy. I read the 2nd book almost 3 years ago, which is a long time ago. Then I really want to start reading Black Prism, that I have for a very long time. Summoner Sands as well, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. All of those 3 are series that I own the first book of, and I owe it for a very long time, and I just never started reading them. So I would love to start at least reading those series. Then there is Anna Karenina, which is a classic that I started a long time ago and I never continued it. I have to read it from the start, but I would really love to read this classic. And also Count of Monte Cristo, that I am currently reading, but I'm reading it for almost a year now and I'm still at page 150. I feel like I really have not gotten very far. It's a very hard book for me to read because it's very long, and the way it's written, I like the way it's written, but it kind of makes me tired while I'm reading it. So I cannot read as much of it as I want to in one sitting. Then I have a book that I bought that was chosen for Booker Prize last year, and that is The Orbital. It's very short. I feel like I will definitely read it this year. And I have a book that was shortlisted this year. It's The Perfection. So that one as well, my friend read it and she loved it, so I really want to read it as well. Then I have a few books that I don't own, but I would like to own very much, or just read them in ebook form. First one is called Worry. I don't know by whom it is, but it just looks like a book, that one of the books that I would love. Then I have The Tear by Eric McKean. I already talked about this book, I think, in my horror books that I want to read. And the third one is Supplication, which I recently heard about, but it just sounds like a book for me. It just sounds like a book I would love, 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 and the cover is very creepy. So those are the three that I would also like to read. Now you learned some things about me, and yeah, I just still cannot believe that this is my second time making this video, and I'm so happy that I decided to start this channel and that I decided to make these videos about books. It really makes me happy, and I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying them and that you guys are watching them. So thank you so much for sticking around and for being part of this community and building. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!